What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Instagram Live. Today we're rocking the house with Anthony Zee Donaldson, EC Radio Disruption Network. He is a DJ and a bass player from Syracuse, New York, that region, somewhere in there. And we're going to have him on for a nice chat here today. We're rounding out the interviews for this year. Started these in May, around May. And we have some awesome guests this year from people from American Idol and The Voice, different bands like Daughtry and Great White, and some radio DJs, some actors, all that good stuff. Hey guys, what's going on? Everybody streaming live, everybody tuning in later afterwards. Thanks very much for supporting these Instagram Live interviews here coming up. We're going to wait till Anthony joins the building, and we'll be ready to rock here. How you doing today? What's going on? Anybody out there tuning in after, feel free to tag us if you got any questions. Hey man, what's up?
What's good, Holmes? How are you?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
How's life treating you?
Oh, not too bad, I guess. I'm considering we've been on lockdown, I feel like, since March, right? So.
Yeah, I know. It's been quite the coma.
Yeah, no doubt. Lucky for guys like you and I, we have like studios that we can actually immerse ourselves into and stay creative and take our mind off of things, you know?
Yeah, it's a new name for the man cave, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. No
It's
doubt.
the live cave now or something. Life cave.
Yeah,
So,
for sure, man.
people tuning in, you are a radio DJ here and you're a bass player. For how many years have you been playing bass?
No, pretty much my whole life. Well, not my whole life, but since I was like 12, 13 years old. I started playing guitar first, and then it
Okay.
made the switch over to the bass because it was less strings. And it was
Yeah.
just like, here, you
Yeah.
play bass now type of thing. My buddies handed me a bass. But and that made the switch probably around 14, maybe 13, 14. And
You remember your first model bass guitar?
yeah, it was a Court.
Core, I remember those.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
And do you remember those old little Gorilla amps that had like the reverb in it, and every time you put it down,
They're
you hear
black.
the
They're
springs
maybe
go.
like this big.
Yeah, and you would hear the reverb going on every time you set it down, and I had one of
It would never
those.
shut off.
Would never shut off. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But those were cool, and
Yep.
yeah, I come
They're a
from
workhorse, man.
yeah, absolutely, man. But I come from a
Yeah.
line of musicians. My dad, my grandfather, they were musicians, and I mean, as
Okay.
early as I can remember, I was helping them move gear into the gigs, and they're playing weddings and whatever, you know. And so, yeah, so music's in my blood, man. Kind of like you, it's part of our DNA.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta live it to love it, pretty
Yeah.
much. You know, it's weird because usually you're interviewing me, so now I'm interviewing you.
Role reversal. I like it.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about that, let's give a shout out to David Bowers too, because he's the one that hooked us up throughout all this. And do you still stay in touch with him?
I do. Yeah. He caught wind of the New York State interviews I've been doing.
Yeah.
New York State music. Yeah. He goes, those are cool. He goes, share them anytime. He's a good guy. He goes, share them anytime. You want to come back? You got new releases, whatever. He goes, do it up.
Frank, you were doing those with NewYorkStateMusic.com. That's Pete Mason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete's a good guy. I've known Pete for many years.
Yeah, I've been, I kind of just had an idea based off of these interviews and stuff, and I go, maybe I can branch out into some magazines or some media and try to do it for, other artists and things and see where it goes. So that's, from this to that, I think is a cool first step, to, I don't know, something in the future. Not a Tonight Show, but,
Right. Well, Instagram Lives is a cool platform because it's the split screen. It's super easy to jump on. Anybody could jump on at any moment. And
Yeah.
and it's easy. It's just, you go live on your Instagram, boom, and people can join you. So there's no sending out emails or making phone calls or any of that. So
No. But I noticed the rebroadcast afterwards, the re-upload gets all the views and stuff. But this is perfect because you don't have to record the thing and save it and edit it later.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Power of social
So what
media.
you got going on behind you there? You got all your DJ gear going on?
Yeah.
recording gear?
Yeah, I do actually. There's a little bit of our thing that's going on. I'm going to be doing a podcast in a little bit. I'm jumping into this podcast that I'm really, really passionate about. It's going to be our first recording tonight. It's the history of the mafia in Utica.
Oh, okay.
And Utica was known as Sin City at one time. And there was a big mob presence. And so I have a gentleman coming in who's actually my buddy's father. And he spent 39 years in jail doing
Really?
doing mob hits.
Because he's in the mafia? Wow.
Yeah. But he's a great guy. And there's this whole redemption side of the story, and I'm really looking forward to diving in. And tonight's our very first recording, and we're doing strictly podcasts tonight. We're not doing any video or anything like that. And I'm going to chop it up into a 10-part series, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm pretty excited about it.
Are you gonna get into? Because I know you can apply for it's Sirius FM or one of those to have it streamed eventually, or Amazon maybe, or.
So right here at Disruption Network, every time we go live, we are live on 5 different video platforms. That's Periscope and Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and those. And then after, when I chop up the podcast, when I'm done with my shows, it goes out to like Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, Google, all those platforms. So yeah. Now, what did SiriusXM take over one of those platforms? I want to say they took over Simplecast or one of those podcasting platforms.
Yeah.
So you know what? I got to look to see if my stuff is on there. I have no idea if it is or not, but it's on all those other
curious.
ones.
Yeah, because people out there tuning in right now, I mean, they probably. Some people get it, but some people probably don't know how all this is put together between videos and what is a podcast. People listen to it, they go, I listen to podcasts, but you know actually what a podcast is.
Yeah, do you listen to podcasts?
I don't. Not that I don't have the time. I'm either watching more movies or listening to more music, and I'll research more or less articles. I'll read articles a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not really one to sit down and put in and listen to somebody talk for an hour, unless maybe I'm doing something in the studio and I'm doing some rewiring or something like that. But I don't have the audio book, as we used to call it, patience a lot of times.
Yeah. Easily distracted.
It's cool, though. No, I've never really been into it as much, just to sit down and listen to a podcast. I rather, if the video's there, sometimes like on my PlayStation, I'll put it on and while I'm eating dinner or something like that. But if there's no video, I'm not really into it as much. Yeah.
Podcasts, I can't even talk tonight, but podcasts are a big platform nowadays. I mean, I feel like everybody has a podcast nowadays. There's some major celebrities that have them, to like your next door neighbor has one, everybody's doing it.
The guy who does my mastering has one of the whatever genre or category he's in. He's the top 5 on iTunes for whatever he does. It's he's a producer. He does mastering. He's been doing the sound for the Kelly Clarkson show now.
Wow.
He's worked with tons of signed acts and stuff. So I don't know exactly the category it's in, but he's been doing that for a couple of years and stuff too. And I'm like, that's it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, the idea of you working with somebody or knowing somebody that has that stuff going on, and the radio DJs, and it seems like they call it like a small niche group. You know what I'm talking about, where we all kind of know each other and we kind of do this and that. I kind of feel like that between the radio network and the producers. Some of the musicians, but some of them, the attitudes and stuff get in the way, so you don't really experience that as much sometimes.
That's part of our region too. It's like we live in upstate New York, where the roots run really, really deep, and there's a connection to anything. I mean, what's that whole 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon? But and here in upstate New York, it's more like a 2-degree separation. I mean, I have so many friends in your area, and I have so many friends in the Buffalo area and the Rochester, and it's all because of music. It's the only
Yeah.
reason why I have these friends. There's no other reason why. It's because of music. It's because of promoting shows and doing concerts and working in the concert industry and doing radio shows and doing podcasts and playing and touring. And, I've done it all. I've done all of that. And you build up this network of people, and everybody has a story about upstate New York.
Yeah, everybody. I was in, I remember the first time I went to Nashville, 2010. I was in the hotel bar watching a band, and he played drums for, I think, Saliva or something when they first started, but he was singing. And there was a guy there from Lake George. I go, I can't escape it, man. I can't.
Yeah, same here. Same here with Utica. Like every time I go away or go travel or go work a gig or whatever, I always run into somebody that has a story from Utica or knows somebody from Utica or has played here or whatever. There's always some sort of Utica roots, and it's great. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love those stories.
So what kind of guests have you had on between, bands, musicians, and the actors and that kind of stuff too? Or
well, lately I've been kind of just sticking to music. I've been sticking to music. I've been doing Mondays. We do this thing called Local Music Monday. So I've been getting a lot of love to the Utica Syracuse bands, which is good. As far as national touring acts, man, I've had the guys from the Dirty Heads, and I've had the guys from Moan, and Corey Glover from Living Color's been a guest. Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction. I've talked to a lot of great people throughout the years. Dwayne Betts from Allman Betts Band. And also, Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers' son. The guys from Lettuce. Like, if there's a show coming to town, I usually jump on that interview segment and try to give it a little extra promotion. So. I've been talking a lot. It's been a blessed life, man. It has that. And plus, I also work in the concert industry, working for Creative Concerts. And I get a lot of that through their pool as well. I get to interview a lot of the bands that are either coming through Syracuse, Utica, or Rochester. So anything that helps the extra promotion.
Studio, or do you do them on the phone too?
It doesn't. It's either or. Sometimes they'll come in. Yeah, we've got this whole new system here at the D, where all you do is send in your email address, and it's not a Zoom call anymore. It's a new program that we're using, and it just pops right up on your screen. Like if you were to click that link that I email you, you're just gonna pop up on a screen, and
it just activates. Like
it's unbelievable, man. Technology's so amazing, man. Nice. So amazing. But it's been cool, man. We've been doing a lot more music. It's been more music than anything, because it's what I'm passionate about. What does Rogan say, or Gary Vee, one of those influencers, say that whatever you're passionate about, beat it in the head about 5 gazillion times, just focus on what you know. Yeah, man.
Focused and frustrated.
Exactly. Exactly.
Have you so how do you like I was thinking about this the other day, and I wonder if he's like, you ever had a guest or an interview that you just can't reach them or pry out what you're trying to ask, or they go completely the other way, and all of a sudden they're talking about things in their life that you're just like, I could be on Mars right now.
Yes. Yes. You got the guests that sometimes don't even listen to what you're saying at all, and just they're kind of in another world, like you say.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you have those guests that are just the one-word answer guests. And that drives me nuts, to try to pry things out of people. And if
how do you deal with them?
I'll just make it short and sweet. And like, if we're not connecting, we're in 5-10 minutes, and it's like, all right, thanks for being here. Have a good day.
Boom. Yeah. Do they ever come back, those guys?
No, because I already know that they're one-word answer guys,
No.
Like when you come on, we have a good rapport. We talk. We have a great conversation every time. No matter what we talk about, it's a good conversation, and it holds up. But if you're just sitting there just going, yeah, maybe, I don't know, it's so boring. Like, nobody wants to hear that. We want to hear information.
It is, because that's why it's an interview, or a chat, whatever. It's not I played that in '87. Yeah, it was cool gigs. It was cool. It's like, sure. Or you ask, like, I'm always into the recording stuff, so I'm going to ask, what rig are you using right now? What you got going on?
I'm just using the computer rig. I'm not really recording music right now. I wish, but we're not really.
Even with this, you have an audio interface, so you go through, right?
No. Well, yeah, actually we do. It's an XR or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I'm not really the tech guy.
Okay.
My partner here, at Disruption is he's the tech guy, and I got to give a big shout out to Todd Williams, because the guy, I call him Yoda. He's just so out there, and he's so genius like, and he could come in here and redo the whole studio and have it sound and looking great. And I'm like, what'd you do?
Guy.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that shit, man. I'm the talent, I guess. I don't know. He's the production guy.
You know what bit rate you're recording at, huh?
I have no idea. No clue, man. I just click record and go,
Yeah. Record, save, export. There you go.
Frank, usually when I try to do something extra, that's when I screw it up, and then all shit goes to hell. So I try not to touch any of it, because these hands right here can be very klutzy, and so I try to stay away from all the technical side.
Can happen. It can happen. Yeah. I experience that when I get new gear, even if it's strangely, if it's a new guitar amp, it has nothing to do with your equipment, nothing at all. But it's got all different frequencies. So the settings aren't the same. The volume different can be the same. How much it pushes out, all that jazz. And all of a sudden you're like, microphone I use kind of sounds like crap. It's the amp.
It's always the amp or the pedals.
Yeah, I don't use pedals on record. I don't. I try to go straight through, get the real sound.
And then you put the effects on in post?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. I'm not a big pedal guy anyway. I use like a chorus pedal or something, but I do like the octave stuff. Have you played with octave with bass? It's pretty sick.
Absolutely. No distortion or any of that, because you're more of a rock guy.
Bass, I do. Yeah, distortion with bass. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
But not on guitar.
Well, not when I record. I record a clean guitar in, and everything else is distorted from the amps, or I throw it on afterwards too.
Yeah, right on.
Yep.
Hey, there's a guy from Oklahoma checking in. Hey, man, thanks for checking in. Oklahoma.
What's going on? No, that's B. She's a aspiring singer here. She's trying to write her own stuff, and she's got some songs. And
awesome.
She knows a lot. She knows Tantric. You know Tantric?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
One of those guys. Yeah, she knows everybody.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks for checking in.
What's going on, B?
See, I like tapping into a new audience. You're bringing a whole new audience to me right now. I wanted to go off my personal page, but I don't know why it didn't go off. So I was like, screw it. I'll just hop over to the deep. I don't
know.
Because they try to get some of my peoples on too. But who knows? It's all good, man. It's just good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. I can always send you the file too if you want to upload it to your IGTV thing or something.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Very cool. What's going on, folks? If you got any questions, feel free, put them in. Yeah. Put them in the chat. We got Anthony Zee in the building, DJ. Any bass player questions? Hey, what do you think? What do you think of Cliff Burton? You like Cliff Burton?
Oh, of course. Metallica is like my roots. How could you not like Cliff Burton? Thrash metal was like when I was 13, 14 years old. I don't want to date myself, but I'm in my 40s, okay? And growing up and being 13, 14 years old, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, the Big Four, that was everything to me. So I was really heavy into those first four Metallica albums. And then kind of after the Black Album, I think it was my senior year of high school when the Black Album came out. And it's just like it wasn't Metallica anymore. It was more commercial. But you see why they did it. Because they were finding them, they're pigeoning themselves into one hole, just kind of right in the same style. And it's good that they brought in the Horizons. Me being a 16, 17-year-old kid, I couldn't understand it. Me being a 40-year-old adult now and in the industry, totally understand it,
Yeah.
So, a lot of love and respect for Metallica.
They had to because the music was changing. Yeah. They would have dated themselves and been gone.
Right.
10 years and they would have been over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And then you see like bands like Slayer who really have the same formula, and they're still they're not really doing it anymore, but they had the same formula forever, and they never changed whatsoever. But they maintained that level of fan base that really never left their side, and that they stand the test of time. That band, especially with their fans. Yeah,
Megadeth too. But Megadeth veered a little bit in the '90s. I think they all did. Even. Def Leppard and the Motley Crues and stuff, getting new singers. It was a new singer thing in the 90s. Let's get rid of the 80s singers that were the best.
and get
Yeah.
new ones that stink.
You're right. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden did it.
I
Motley
do like
Crue did it.
Ripper. Ripper was good.
Ripper was great, but he's not Rob Halford. Rob Halford's the metal god, you know?
Yeah.
I love
I have a
Halford.
solo CD. It's called Beyond Fear. He had a band called Beyond Fear.
Really?
I have Rob Halford's French CD, Voir, or something like that it was called. He did that, and he did I really like the other band Rob Halford was in.
Fight.
3 albums. Fight.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I really like them.
And his guitar player was Rush Parrish, who also is Satchel in Steel Panther. Are you a Steel Panther fan at all? Steel Panther is one of my favorite bands of all time. I love the whole parody, and it's kind of like a spoof on everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
Right, but they're all wearing wigs, and they're kind of, in the 80s rock.
They're still in the 80s.
Yeah, but it's all comedy. It's comedy-driven, but they're phenomenal players. So Russ Parrish was the guitar player in Fight, and now he's known as Satchel in Steel Panther. So but that's a great album, bro. That first album with Just a Little Crazy on it and Into the Pit, like that was some balls.
I believe I have the second one, and they made part of a third one. Mm-hmm. I might have that too, but those are wicked hard to find.
Yeah. There's some good stuff out there, though. The 90s was a little bit of a lull because of the whole grunge thing. The only band really waving that heavy metal flag in the 90s, to me, was Pantera. And Pantera, I'm still obsessed with Pantera. I love that band to this day, and it's unfortunate that we had to lose Dime the way he did. He went away, and the way Vinnie Paul passed away last year, which was pretty sad, too. So those two brothers are into the pearly gates at the Great Gig in the Sky. But Pantera, incredible band, awesome band live. I used to see them back in the 90s. I saw them like 5 times. And
I used to try to get the kick sound, that famous Pantera kick sound. I'm like, what is that sound?
Right.
It's like eerie and kind of spacey, but it's clicky. I used to like that.
Sounds like a machine gun.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it was hollow too, that's the thing. So it's like, yeah, it was cool. But it was funny, in 2013, I got an email back from Vinny because I almost hired him to do, I think it was like Hope or something like that. And I go, but his drumming won't fit it. I go, let's go with the Saving Abel drummer instead or whatever. Now I'm like kicking myself in the ass.
How cool is that though? That's the power of technology right there, too. It opens up your horizons to pretty much any drummer. If you got the amount of cash that they're willing to take, they could hop on your album. I was daring,
man. Yeah. I emailed all of them. And whoever got back to me were the ones that it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Because there's some that would say, oh, I'm never going to track on an indie artist CD or whatever, screw you. And there's some that's like, yeah, man, just, if you want to pick me, let me know,
That's balls, man. And kudos to you for taking the initiative and actually stepping up to be like, hey, you want to try to play on my album, or can you play on my album?
Yeah, you gotta.
That's awesome.
That's how I started. That's how you get anywhere. You go in front of these bands and these concerts, and what I say, I go, whether they like it or not, I'm handing them a CD. I'm being nice about it, but you know what I mean? They're getting my CD.
Yeah.
Because you never know. They might like it.
Exactly.
You might have things in common, like, how we talk and stuff. You just never know.
Take chances, man. It's all about taking chances.
Yep.
You're never going to go anywhere.
What kind of bass do you have now? What do you like to use?
So my favorite's my Spector. I got a neck through Spector. I love that thing. It's my pride and joy. It's my baby. I was playing it just before we got on here. In fact, my drummer from Street Rock Mafia is one of the bands that I played in. It's kind of like a hip hop funky rock thing that we were doing. My drummer had moved to California prior to this pandemic, maybe October, November. And he got himself a really cool gig working at this backline company where he just sits around and plays drums all day. So he was able to send me some drum tracks. I've been dying to get some drum tracks. I need a little bit of inspiration to keep playing. And he sent me a bunch of drum tracks. So I was sitting at home prior to this little conversation that we're having and trying to write some bass lines to his drum tracks. So that's something I'm going to dive into in the next couple of days and get something out. Because I'm dying to get music out again, man. It's like I said, man, it's part of my fabric,
You just have to. Ideas come, you write them down, you got to record them. You got all of a sudden there's 3 weeks going by and you're like, all right, I guess I'm writing 5 songs now. You know, you get thrown into it. That's crazy.
Now, what about you? Are you like a memo guy? Like if you get an idea in your head, do you just run right to the studio and try to get that idea down? Or are you just talking in your voice memos or writing things down? Like how do you get your ideas out?
I'm old school. I will tab it out and write down some of the lyrics if I have any, and the tempo and the way it flows if I can't, or if I don't feel like it for some reason. But generally, I won't go and record it right away. I'll make sure the whole structure is there, or at least most of it, and then I'll record it, and I'll kind of in the session make up the ending. It'll just come to me or something like that. And then the next part comes, and then the lyrics are actually kind of the last thing I do now, where before lyrics were kind of first. I don't worry about them till later for some reason now, and it seems to work pretty well. Less stress.
So so pretty much you paint the canvas first, right? And then you can just listen to it. Then the lyrics come as you're listening to it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I have a general idea of, I do sound effects pretty much. That's how it works. So and then I'll fill them in with lyrics, or I'll just have a couple lines and I'll say those same lines like all the time. I think like a few of them are, I don't know, I say the same things all the time. Like, where would you go? What would you do? They're kind of, you could say them long, you can say them quick, and you could just fit them in. And then I'm like, what's this song about? Let's write it, A
lot of questions, right?
Yeah, I try to ask the question thing first, because a statement really goes flat quick,
Yeah. Yeah, right
like the sky is gray. All right, where are you going to go from there? Then you got to think of something else. The cup is blue. I don't know. It's like, this doesn't make sense. So questions, if anyone's stumped, questions really help me a lot. Write down questions. That starts to get you thinking.
Right on, brother.
What's up, Jacob? We're doing a playthrough. We're doing a full band playthrough, folks. Jacob's in the building. He's a drummer.
Nice. Awesome.
So what do you got coming up for guest interviews, future plans, all that good stuff?
Oh man, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. What I try to do is try to grow Disruption Network, because we have like 8 different shows going on right now currently, with no sports being around because of this whole Corona coaster that we're in. We kind of put the sports podcast kind of to the side a little bit. I mean, there's football going on, but we kind of put the sports podcast to the side, but we're focusing on a local aspect right now. With my show, I've been doing a lot of local music. We have Broadway Utica is a partner with us here at Disruption Network. They feature a bunch of their Broadway musicals, and they have some of the actors and actresses come on. Then we also teamed up with our Chamber of Commerce locally. They do a daily show, actually, where it's just like a 20-minute feature of local businesses, which has been pretty cool. Then there's
they televise that?
Yeah. Everything is on YouTube and Facebook and all the social media platforms.
Yeah.
And then we have a show called No Time for Nonsense, which is more of an interview thing. He's been tapping into a wide range of people, man. Everybody from like Vic DiPotetto, which is a comedian, and Joe D'Onofrio, who was in like Goodfellas, and just like a lot of actors.
Yeah, I don't know him. Yeah.
There's some good stuff there too. So there's No Time for Nonsense. And then the Uncle Louie Variety Show, which is our Italian comedians, the duo. They crack me up. They're on every Thursday, and man, we have a ball every time those guys come to town. So and they're from Syracuse, so they drive in from Syracuse to Utica, and we sit around and plan the show and have a couple drinks and just have a good time. And they get in their characters and have a ball. So and we love it, and I'm very thankful and very blessed to have those guys working with us.
Different type of atmosphere than interviews. It's cool.
Dude, it's so much fun. It is so much fun just doing the comedy aspect of things. But they're touring comedians. They've been all over the world and back again, and they have a huge following on Facebook and on YouTube. So, it's cool. I love partnering up with those guys, and we've got some big things in store with them. Some things I can't really talk about right now, but we've got some cool things happening with those guys, and looking forward to getting some of that out there and rocking and rolling. They're also great musicians too, those guys.
Really? They play?
Lou plays the accordion and sings his Italian songs, and Carlo plays guitar, and they sing their Italian songs, and it's hilarious, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's what another thing I was going to ask you about the Mafia thing. Was it mostly Italians in the area?
See, here in Utica, yeah, man, it was. Yeah. I mean, it still is. It's still predominantly Italian. But back in the early 90s, when the whole Eastern European wars were going on, there's a huge influx of Bosnian people living here in Utica. So there's a huge Bosnian community. So there's a lot. I want to say like 12,000 people in Utica are Bosnian. It's crazy. It's a crazy number. And then probably another 15,000 are Italians. But it's very diverse. And that's the one thing I do love about this town. It's very diverse. And we have such a cool food culture. There's a lot of cool, I've
seen that, heard about it too. I've never been to Utica. I've been to Syracuse. I did a movie outside of Syracuse that was actually near where the Wizard of Oz writer is from.
Yeah, Chittenango.
Yeah, and when I drove past that sign and I looked to the right and I seen the farms, and then there was like this store there and yada yada. I go, New York is the look of Kansas right here. That's where it all originated from. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it's New York, not Kansas.
Right. Exactly, man. No, you're right about that. We got to get you to Utica, though, man. Once this Corona coaster is over with, man, we have you come to Utica and play a couple gigs for us. I've got.
I seen something where you guys are playing in you have a spot where you have a band play, like in a building or a rooftop or something like that, or. I remember you mentioning that.
We can make it. We can make anything happen, brother.
A helicopter, whatever. We need out the helicopter.
I love it. Since the whole pandemic has gone down, we made the studio very socially distanced. We have 6 to 8 feet apart from our guests and stuff like that. But there's enough room now to where we can actually set up a full band and have them perform. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm passing through in the future, like you said, all this stuff ends someday. We will definitely see. I've lost a little bit of that live spark. We were talking about that. Have you lost that groove a little bit?
Yeah.
As a player, you know what I'm talking about.
I did. In fact, I haven't really picked up my bass at all until recently. And it's just been kind of sitting there collecting dust. And then lately, like I told you earlier, that my drummer was sending me drum tracks, and that really got me going again. Prior to the pandemic, I was practicing with a bunch of dudes, and we were going off a lot, writing some really cool music. And as you say it, I have lost this spark for a bunch of different things, Yeah. It's not.
I know some people are still playing a little bit out, or they're doing cover gigs and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's good to give people music. I don't think it's a good idea, to be honest, right? Just safety-wise for everybody, Especially the counts are going back up wicked, which I'm pissed about.
Me too. Me too, brother. And the one thing that is going to stick around after the coaster is done here, I think, is the live streaming aspect of things. I think people like to be at home and they're able to check out any of their favorite bands sitting on their couch, watching it off their iPhone or their iPad or their smart TV. I think that's going to stick around. And it was a thing prior to the Corona thing, but it's going to stick around forever. I really think it is. And think about it, man. Your favorite band, who's your favorite band right now?
Well, it's always been Metallica.
So Metallica just did their drive-in concert. You could pay for it and watch it at your house. How cool is that? It's kind of a cool thing. Other than you're missing that energy that you give to the crowd or you give to the band, and it goes back and forth. That's where you kind of lose it. But at the same time, you don't have to worry about DWIs, right? You can go to the bathroom whenever the hell you want. You can watch the show naked
soda
if you wanted
or
to.
Popcorn $10, that sort of
right.
thing.
No price gouging. You can watch the concert naked if you wanted to. So
$6 for a cookie at New Jersey when I seen them.
What?
$6.
Oh my God! Like a Fryhoffers cookie. Oh my God!
I don't know, had some frosting on it. You know how it is. It's like whatever. Frosting isn't that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. No, I remember one of the best concerts I've ever been to was the MetLife Stadium. It was like watching an IMAX movie with the band playing and the pyro. Amazing. The sound was spot on. I mean, it's SPAC and stuff. Forget it. The sound was so clear because I'm like, I can hear the freaking the backing, some of the backing frequencies you never hear live. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like you can only hear like if you hear a guitar, maybe it's just the highs or something like that. You could hear everything.
Yeah.
You could hear all the features in it. So that was the best one. It was Avenged Sevenfold and Volbeat.
Oh wow, that's a great bill.
Yeah, it was spot on. But that's the one I'll remember as of right now. So I'm still holding on to that image. But I think what it is, anybody out there, like if you kind of lost the spark of playing out and your musicians and stuff, one thing, send your music to this guy.
Yes, please do. Thank you. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I've been doing more of a podcast type of thing. So I really, what's crazy is like with the algorithms, we're not able to play a lot of music anymore because we get flagged on the social media platforms. But with that being said, though, on the podcast side of things, I can play it on the podcast and just not on the live aspect. But I love to talk to musicians. I love to pick their brains. I love especially creative ones. You do get some of those garage bands that are just like, why are you wasting your time, pal? But the ones that take it serious, those are the musicians I really like talking to. The ones that make it a career, and the ones that have it in their DNA,
dreams and goals and
right.
stuff.
Exactly. I like. That's what I like to focus on too. In fact, we're doing this thing with Reverb Nation right now, where you can have your band featured on my podcast. I got to go through like 1,200 submissions. I keep getting all these submissions, so I'm picking 3 out of the 1,200, which is going to be quite a difficult task, but I'll get through it. And looking forward to it though, man. So far, what I've heard, there's some great stuff out there, and there's just such a wide, big pool of music right now. Like there's just so many different genres, and there's just so many different artists doing creative things, and it's cool. And that's the one thing I want to see come out of this Corona coaster is, the creativity. And I have seen some creativity, but I want to hear some screamers. I want to hear another Rage Against the Machine. I want to hear another like Stand Up Against the Man type of shit, and it's right there. Are you familiar with Fire from the Gods?
No, never heard of them.
Check those cats out. That's one of my favorite bands right now. They're out of Austin, Texas, and they're kind of political, but they're very Rage Against the Machine-esque with kind of a newer twist to it. And they kind of have like a reggae vibe to them as well, kind of like a Skindred. And then there's definitely a funk rock and like metal vibe to them. I mean, they mix a lot of different genres. They're like a fruit salad of music, man. And check those guys out, man. They're really, really awesome. And that's the one band I'm really fixated on right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you when you listen to new submissions and stuff coming in, do you have like categories or like how do you break that down?
Oof. See, I love music, man. So there's not really.
What about recording quality? Is that a factor to you?
Yes, it is. But if the song is good, then I'll look past that. And, I look at the creativity of the tune before I look at the production side.
In there.
Right. And there are some bad recordings out there, but, if the song's got some substance to it, I definitely give it a listen and look past the whole production side of things.
Yeah. That's cool because some people won't. They're like, oh, no. You got to go to whatever. It's got to sound like this. Nope. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
But as far as genres go, I'm open to all genres. I'll listen to EDM and DJs and hip-hop and then rock and metal and jazz and funk. I try to stay away from the country, though. I'm not really a big country fan. I like old school country, like Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash and that kind of stuff. But, today's country is just pop music right now. And I just, I'm not into it.
If I was ever going to get into it or write that way, it would definitely not have any pop in it. I would have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Dark Country. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Dark
right
Country.
on. Hey, what up,
We'll
Biz?
see.
My man Biz is checking in, saying hello. He's an amazing DJ here in the Utica area. He's been doing it
Oh, nice.
for many, many years, and the guy's a freaking legend. So good to hear from you,
Okay.
man. Thanks for checking in.
Well, I mean, everybody tuning in right now, thank you very much. Everybody tuning in later, you can feel free to tag Anthony or me. We'll answer all your questions and all that. This will be on all the social media platforms. And Shama Anthony's here. We're about coming down, maybe another 5 minutes or so. So if you guys got questions, feel free to put them in. And, I mean, anything you want to let people know as far as yourself or the station.
Yeah, just check out Disruption. Just check out the Disruption Network. We've got a lot of cool content for people to check out. There's some comedy, there's music, there's entertainment, there's business.
Variety.
There's a variety there. There's a lot of entertainment going on over there. So if you get a chance, hop over to our Instagram page or our Facebook, give us a like and share and stuff like that. And we're trying to split up the platforms a little bit. I've been kind of staying off of Facebook a little bit. Now, I can't say that I have been. You kind of always go in and out of it. You know what I mean? But trying to find a new avenue.
It's a suction portal.
Really, it is. It sucks you in. I'm trying to find a new avenue. I love Instagram because it's more pictures and it's not really it's not political. You don't see any of that stuff.
Yeah,
not as much at all. But I love Instagram and YouTube. Of course, you can go down a rabbit hole in YouTube. But I'm not really a TikTok guy or a Snapchat guy or any of that. I think that's more for the kids. So
I just update everything. For my music, I focus on the posts, update it. If anything pops up while I'm on the home screen, I'll look at it. But I'm like, I don't really have the time, or I'm not going to sift through for half an hour. A lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, you do a lot yourself. That's the thing, is you only have so many minutes in the day and stuff like that. So it's tough. You don't want to spend it. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to spend any more time than I have to on that kind of stuff, because it's all it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it for like 15 years before the height of, I started at YouTube 2 years in. We started making movies and stuff back then, and like by now I'm just like, I'm sick of it. I still do it, but man, you know what I mean? Something you just gotta, like, I love just I don't know, like, it's doing something physical. You know what I mean? Non-digital, like a phone call or whatever. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, man. You're an old soul, Frank.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like that guy sitting on the porch, 30 years old, but he's like, 80, going, yeah, wish we did that.
You kids don't know any better.
Yeah, no.
That's how I'm turning into that old man. Hey, kid, get off my lawn right now. That's me. And I think the Corona coaster is what got me there. I was kind of there before, but when this pandemic hit, I really jumped right into being that grumpy old man.
Yeah. I'm in more of I don't know if you want to call it survival mode, but it's like, how am I going to just do music and try to make any sort of money? And where do you push and where do you expand? And, because that's all you got. They're not really paying us to stay here on our asses when we can't play out. Like, you can't even act. There's been some small odd jobs, and I'm like, I would love to take that, but I can't risk it because I've got asthma and stuff really bad. Uh-huh. And I'm like, I can't even act right now. I can't do anything.
Right. You don't want to risk it. So how are you making money right now?
All online. Yeah. I teach guitar lessons too, and I'll do anybody out there, looking for guitar stuff and mixing and recording bass or vocals, voiceovers. Then I've gotten into the interview shows. The acting is no good for right now. Except for the stuff that you do and put out, independently. But there's no paid acting stuff right now, or not really.
No. It just right now is the great time to just create content. Keep creating content, keep putting stuff out there, whether it's funny or educational or informational or something like that, or whatever you're passionate about.
Out there.
pushing records out there or whatever. People are sitting home on their asses right now doing nothing, and they're scrolling. So, you know, who knows who's watching your stuff? You never know.
You know what's kind of funny is it's reverted to not selling the tickets or the live thing or whatever the gimmick is, right? Now we're kind of forced to either selling ourselves or how do we sell records again? How do we sell the music? But unfortunately, they made CDs and stuff obsolete. So I do sell more CDs than I do digital, which is still weird. But really, CDs are kind of on their way out.
Yeah. But the only time people really buy CDs is really during the live aspect, correct? I mean, it's not like you're mailing out CDs right now, are you?
I have been the whole time, yeah.
Oh,
the reason why is because I sign them. They want, if it was just a CD, no signature or whatever, they wouldn't want it, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if you sign it, like for me, I bought Scott Stapp's new CD because he signed it. And I go, I want a signature, man. You know, especially I can't go out and see him. So there you go. So I love that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Oh, you want some guitar lessons? Yeah, man, hit me up. Send me a DM. We'll do it on the old digital internet.
I love that. Biz is a really talented, like, he's got music in his blood. Like, that's what he grew up with, and like his family is musicians and stuff. So he's definitely got some funk in his butt. That's for damn sure. So when you do a guitar lesson, would you do it through Zoom or some kind of?
Yeah, I've been doing it through Zoom.
Okay.
I used to do it through Facebook and everything else, but I'm just like, I'm going to send you a Zoom link, and it works pretty good. So
yeah, man,
very simple. Well, I appreciate you coming on today and chatting here for a little while.
It was great to see you. Thanks for having me, man. This has been a lot of fun. You know, this is the first one. I've done the Instagram Live a few times, but like when the whole lockdown first happened, I was on everybody's show like once a week and different shows, and we were cross promoting and stuff. And then summer came and everybody went outside and started doing things. So this is actually the first one that I've done since winter hit. So thank you for having me. This has been super cool. And if everybody's out there too, go buy Frank's music. Help him out. Go over where you can buy it on like Apple and Google and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. You can get your signed CDs on my website, frankpalangi.com.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Yeah, everything's digital too.
Awesome. Please go support them. These musicians right now need your help more so now than ever, people, ever. So buy their merchandise, buy their CDs, buy whatever you can. Help them out. Because
online shows, anything.
So are you doing any live stream shows? Are you doing online shows?
I have been. I've been doing Stage It once a month. I might try Facebook. I just did a paid, where I can do the paid Facebook tickets. Mm-hmm. So I might try that. It's a little unknown waters for me, but Stage It works really well because I can do a show with a set amount of people. It's almost like a VIP concert online.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And really just kind of focus in on that.
That's another avenue we dove into here at Disruption Network as well. Quick little plug: we're doing one on December 5th with a band called The Old Main, a bunch of buddies of ours. So we set up at the Westcott Theater in Syracuse, and just, you know, it's nobody in the audience whatsoever, and it's just, you know, the band members on stage, and we're filming it. You know, it's a paid ticketed event, pay-per-view type of thing. So $10, you get all this entertainment for like 2 hours, and you get to engage with the band and stuff like that. So like we talked about earlier, this live stream thing's here to stay. So it's kind of an avenue we jumped into here at Disruption Network.
Yep. And somebody said, which I agree, it's going to go into VR land one of these days.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And you're right about that. VR or even augmented reality as well.
The old Friday the 13th 3D where you just go, look.
Yeah.
3D.
I'm looking forward to when porn goes to hologram, you know?
Yeah.
You just have like porno right there in front of you.
Man. The hologram stuff. I don't know about that. We'll see. Star Trek land.
It will happen, though. One of these days. I might never see it, though. I'm too old for that, but you might see it.
I don't know. I mean, they have them if you want to spend $1 million on one and create it yourself.
That is true.
Cool.
So when's your CD come out? Because you got to come back on my show, and we need to promote that. So let me know when that happens. You got a target date for it?
I've actually, the CD's out now. I've got the EP out. I've got one music video, but the music video for Bring On the Fear is going to be in January. So that'll be out, and then I'm writing a new EP for 2021 sometime. So I got the single done.
Stay creative, brother. Do it. I know we talked about maybe losing a little bit of luster for it, but you know, something will spark that inspiration again. I guarantee it. I guarantee
this is heavy. It's a little bit heavier than my last record.
Yeah.
The first song you're gonna like. It's an instrumental, 2 minutes and 30-second instrumental. 20 years old, but it's metal.
I love it.
Good.
I love it.
But thanks, guys, very much for tuning in. We've been doing these since May, and it's been cool. We've had a lot of cool guests on here. And I think for me, it's going to round out the year. I mean, tune into the New York State music interviews I've been doing, and we'll see. We'll see for season 2 next year what comes up here for both shows.
Awesome, brother.
Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it. All right, man.
Frank, great to see you. Stay creative, man. Everybody out there, stay safe. Wash your hands and wear your mask, people. We'll see ya. Check us out on Disruption Network.
See you later.
Later, brother.